And we are recording. And hello, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining us. And look who my guest is today. It's Crystal from Bag a Day. I'm turning into a squealing schoolgirl with excitement because I mean there is I don't think there is any more high profile crocheter than Crystal.
Oh no,
Um,
nonsense.
no, no. I mean your modesty is part of why everyone loves you,
Thank
and
you.
also um, the support you have shown for so many people, including me, is just remarkable. You for the dyers, for the retailers, for other YouTubers. I mean, I remember it might have been the very first time you came to one of my live streams, and at that time I was working on getting 750 subscribers,
Mhm.
and you just popped away for a second and put something on your community tab. By the end of that live stream, I had 90 new subscribers, and
Wow.
and within a week, I had like 500 new subscribers.
Good.
So, and and then recently, I've gained enough um, subscribers and watch hours that I'm now monetized, which
Oh, good
is
for
lots of
you.
fun. Oh,
Yes.
that's right. You were at the very first live stream that I did after monetization, and you were very generous that day too.
Hmm?
That I'm gonna cry again.
No, don't cry. I only do what I do with good intentions because I'm a firm believer that I am where I am as far as YouTube goes because of the people who watch me. And I'm very humbled by that. And I show my support to everyone through shout outs and purchasing from small yarn dyers and trying to help build up other small channels, giveaways to my fellow YouTube family. That's the only way I know how to say thank you for giving me what you have given me, which is watching my videos is all that I want. And that's all that, I've ever asked for. And you guys do that. And that's how I say thank you. I will never forget who got me to where I am. Never. Some YouTubers do when they get bigger. I'm not one of those.
Mm, it's exactly, and um, yeah, and no one who knows you is surprised to hear you say that because that is just who you are. Such everybody knows how kind and giving you are. In addition to everything that you share in terms of knowledge and creativity. So, I mean, I could go on, but I don't want to waste an awful lot of time with that. But not that it's a waste of time, but I want to use it more constructively.
Mhm.
Now, I think that most people who follow you um, will know your story, but in case there is like one or two who don't, you have told the story about how you learned to crochet when you were a girl.
Mhm. I'm gonna hear it again.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, sure.
Well, I learned to crochet when I was I was 10. Um, I had an elderly widowed neighbor next door to me, and I would always go and visit with her um, because she was lonely. And I remember her having a wall of yarn. Maybe that's where that stems from. And I would always run my fingers across it. It was in little cubbies, and of course, it was all Red Heart Super Saver, because that was years ago. And she noticed me always doing that, and she asked me if I wanted to learn to crochet, and I said yes, ma'am. That would be nice. So she taught me, but she taught me in a way that was very disciplined. Like first, she made me learn so many stitches and all their stitch counts, so many. And she would quiz me on them, and she would get very upset if I got them wrong. Right, at the time, I you know, it was like, why is she getting so upset? But I know now it was with all good intentions. She just wanted me to be the best that I could be. So you know, and if I got them wrong, she'd get kind of upset, make me redo it. So I memorized so many multiples to so many stitches. They're ingrained into my head. And then one day she threw a dress down at me. It was like a doll dress, or I can't remember, baby dress made out of fabric. And she said, you make this out of crochet. And I remember saying, you didn't teach me how to read patterns. How am I supposed to do that? She goes, I taught you to crochet without reading a pattern. And I'm like, okay. So it took me a couple weeks, but then I finally got that dress down. And then after that, that was it. She told me that, you know, I would be able to crochet, you know, anything that I wanted. So I never learned to read or write a pattern, and I still don't know how to this day. Someone else writes my patterns for me. So I crochet up everything that I make on YouTube, generally on the fly as I'm recording it. I just have that ability. A lot of people ask me how, and I think it's not nothing I can explain. I think it might stem from my childhood, of the way that she taught me to crochet. And it just is very easy for me, I think, knowing all the multiples, just to come up with something and do it. While I'm recording it, it's easy for me to just think of a stitch real quick that goes with the number that I have left. It just comes natural. You know how,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, I guess.
No, it does make a lot of sense.
Just
And it's
natural
sort
for
of like, yeah, since I have a musical background, it's sort of like playing an instrument by ear as opposed to
Yeah.
learning to play it from music. And ideally, one would want to be able to do both, but either one is a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and clearly not reading or writing patterns has not kept you back. I mean,
No,
it's good
no.
that you have people who write them out for you because,
I do have one lady that writes for me. She's very kind, and I thank her. She, after I upload a tutorial, she will watch my tutorial and write the pattern out for me so I can put it on Etsy. So she's a very nice lady. So yes.
I have a notebook full of notes that I have made from your tutorials and other people's tutorials, and I've been able to recreate projects based on that. Sometimes I have to go and look at the video again if it's been a few months since I wrote the notes, but still, it's and now I'm writing my own patterns. But
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I love doing it. So you've been on YouTube. You said something like 6 years,
7 now. Hmm.
7,
Hmm. Yeah, long
and
time.
in YouTube years, it is a long time. Yeah. So did you start out? Was it a slow start? Did you like
Yes.
gain in comfort and confidence as time went on?
It was very hard. It's very hard. Um, it was very hard back then, and it was not as saturated as it is now. So I can't even imagine how much harder it is now. Being in this genre, it has to be twice as hard. But it was still very hard for me. I had nobody, you know, no one gave me shout outs, nothing. I started from zero, and I would put on a tutorial every single day. And, you know, they barely got any views. I barely got any subscribers, but I was very persistent and very patient. I'm a very patient person. So I just kept doing it, and I didn't give up. And that's always my advice for any YouTuber. You don't ever give up, even if, especially in the beginning, you get no views, you get no subscribers. Keep going. Be persistent. Don't give up. Eventually, people will take notice. So I think it was a good 6 months before people started noticing me, and finally started watching my videos. But um, maybe I think it was after about 3 years on YouTube, I was able to say, I can do this for a full-time job, along with Etsy, of course.
Hmm.
It took me that long to be able to say, I think that this could become something bigger. So I kept going and going, and it did grow more and more, and it continues to grow every day. And I'm very thankful to everybody who has made that happen. for me.
Yeah.
I am. From the bottom of my heart, I will forever be in all my YouTube family's debt. I can never repay you and everyone for the gifts that you've given me. You'll never know.
Did you know that you have more subscribers than Las Vegas has residents?
That's cool. I never thought
I,
about
I,
that.
yeah. When I one time, I was going to make a joke about it at some point because I looked at the number that you have, and it looks like a city population. Um, and so I looked up city populations that matched, and Las Vegas and Memphis are at that time were pretty much the closest. And I'm sure you've grown since then. But
Yes.
it's it's just amazing to me. I mean, I have been doing it just not that long. I think I put my first yarn video up last October. So I'm sort of thrilled that with the flock that I have that they have supported me as much as they do.
Hmm.
So people, um, I talk a lot actually on and offline about finding my voice. What do I have to tell people? Um, if someone asked you that question or phrased it in that way, how do you think you would respond?
I I think you just have to do what is in your heart and what you feel um, that makes you happy, and then you have to have something that the other person doesn't. I don't really know why to this day people watch me or why they're attracted to my videos. I've never figured that out. But I think to find on YouTube, I found that I do love to teach. Generally, it just boils down for me. I love to teach people what I love, which is how to crochet and yarn. And then I really, really love to get back to my yarn community through giveaways or super chats or shout outs and stuff like that. So that's what Bag O' Day does. Everybody, you just got to find what works best for you. So, and I love, showing new yarns and talking about new yarns and yeah, teaching to crochet. Just what I love, and that's what I do. In the beginning, I tried to please a lot of people. You can't do that. I learned that there is no pleasing everybody. But what you want to do is um, do what you love to do. And those who like you will stay for that, for who you are, because they love you too. So, and they love what you put out. That's what I've learned over YouTube. It can be a very harsh environment, but as long as you stay true to yourself and once you do what
Hmm.
you love, those people that love you for you will stay. And in the end, that's
Hmm.
what you want.
Exactly, and I've been learning that. I've tried different things, and mm, some of the things that I like the best, I now do more often. Like these interviews. I love doing these interviews. I mean, years ago, before I was ever on YouTube, I used to interview people to write articles. Um, and so this is fun for me. But I don't recall ever seeing you doing being in the interviewer seat. Um, but then again, I don't really know that that would be something you'd be comfortable with. But you have found your niche in the tutorials and the yarn and the education
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So
You
the
mean like,
interviews.
I'm
Go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. You mean
No, I
like
was just
me interviewing people or me being interviewed?
yeah, yeah. You interviewing people.
Oh, um, no, no, no. I don't think that would be something I would incorporate. Now, I love to watch your interviews and other people's interviews, but for me, that's not something I don't think I would incorporate into my channel. I do try to find new things, but but no, I don't think I'll do that. But like I said, I do love to watch yours and other people's
Oh
interviews.
well,
They're
well. Thank you.
interesting.
I'm glad you do.
You do. Mhm.
I love doing it. I love doing my live streams. I love doing my poetry readings.
Mhm.
So that's what I focus on. I have done tutorials. People tell me that teach well, but I don't think that those videos are my strength,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there doing tutorials, and there are people who are doing tutorials with my patterns, which I think is fabulous.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm good on the tutorials. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'll never do another, but
I
there are so many
understand.
people who do it better than I do.
I understand. There are a lot of tutorial channels out there. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah. What else was I going to say? People love the videos that you shoot with Mr. Bod. And
Yes.
um, did it take some encouraging to get him to join in, or was he eager from the start?
No, I had to persuade him quite a bit. He was very shy at first, um, as most people are, coming in front of a camera. But I told him,
Hmm.
just do it. Eventually, you'll get used to it. And I think he's used to it now. He's coming out of his shell. So,
It
yeah, a
looks
lot
like
of
he
people.
enjoys it now.
Yeah, he does. I think so. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be on all of them. Still, sometimes I'll be like, hey, people are asking about you. You want to do this unboxing with me? And he'll say, no, I don't really. I want to. But, once in a while I'll get him on still. So,
Well, he's lots of fun. Um,
hmm
and we always enjoy that. And so between the two of you, crochet is like your your business. I mean, neither one of you works outside the home nowadays because
yeah,
you focus on the channel, the patterns, the Etsy, the merch,
yes, sir.
and
hmm
clearly you're doing very well, which
Um,
I think is great.
I do okay. Yes.
No,
Um,
I don't want to ask personal questions, but
I
I'm
understand.
always glad to see people successful
Thank you.
because it
hmm
gives me hope too. Because
Um, yes, you can be very successful on YouTube. You just gotta work really hard and continue to work really hard nonstop. Um, and eventually, I think there'll be a point that you know you'll see a growth like you've never seen beyond your wildest dreams. Like um, I have growth every day. There's um, I get some new subscribers every day, but then again, I lose a couple hundred every day. That's just the way it is for my channel being so big. You gain hundreds, but then you lose a couple hundred, so it kind of levels itself out. So, but
yeah,
that's just the way it is.
yeah, I tend to fluctuate within a range of 10, but then that range creeps up slowly, so
Mm-hmm.
that overall I'm growing. Um,
As long as you're growing, um, I have a YouTube consultant, and he always gives me ideas to make my channel better and everything. And he said, "You don't worry, as long as your subscriber count goes down, doesn't ever go into below, as long as it's raising, even if it's just by one, you're growing,
hmm
and there's nothing to
hmm
be worried about." So,
exactly.
hmm
Yeah, and actually nowadays you can see all the analytics and
yes.
um, and I think that you have to choose how you look at the graph. If you look
Mhm.
at it on a day by day level, it's gonna be pretty jagged. But if you look at it on a week or month level and it continues growing,
hmm Yeah,
then you're pretty good. Yeah.
I'm very in tune to the Google Analytics. I like that a lot. So I try to pay very close attention to them so I can see who's watching my videos, and what they like so I can try to produce um, what I like as well as what they like, at the same time. So
Yeah, one reason I started doing more live streams was that I learned from the analytics that I get the most views with those.
live streams,
So, yeah.
good.
And I also enjoy doing it, so it's a win-win.
hmm Mm-hmm.
Um, where was I going to go with this? Let's see. Now, you love the hand dyers. Um,
I do. Mm-hmm.
yeah. One in particular lately has been your pet. Um, mine too. Let's see his name up there.
I do love to support small businesses. Not just, I mean, I like to support small yarn stores, so I buy from them. But I also love to support indie dyers. And not everybody can do that. And but there are a lot of people on my channel who like to see new indie dyers. So, you know, because they do like to buy indie hand dyed yarns. So, yes, I find one, and yeah, lately it's been Daniel from Pawpaw Yarns. I think he does a magnificent job on dyeing his yarns. He's a really nice and genuine person, I think. From what I've seen, he's very funny. And, you know, not only are his hand-dyed yarns good, I like that he did some videos on dyeing yarn, and I think that his YouTube channel is going to do well also.
It has grown hugely since you started paying attention to him. He started like a month and a half ago, and he has more subscribers than I do now. But yeah,
He's doing very well. I'm very happy for him. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Did you ever? I'm sure you did. Hold on a second. This is the yarn that I ordered from him that he allowed me to think that I helped design the colorway.
It's
It's
beautiful.
called Ginger Bear,
Mm,
and
it's
he
very
made
pretty.
10. I love it. I love these colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's fingering weight. I don't think I've used fingering weight before, and I have two hanks of this, and so I'm for one thing I'm waiting for Had Not Hate to be over, but um, I'm just also waiting to see what the yarn wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask the yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now, as far as yarns go, you talk about a wide range of yarns in terms of cost and
Mm-hmm.
well, sometimes quality too. Because some of the budget yarns I myself wouldn't want to use again, but some of them are great.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I try to do reviews on big box store yarns, budget yarns, all the way up to
Hmm.
high end because I have such a large audience. Some love the value yarns and some love the high end. So I try to do both as much as I can to, you know, help everybody out. I love showing all the new ones. I just love actually a lot of the yarns, you know, I'll put in my giveaways. But I just love to look at a new yarn, touch it, and see it.
I
One that
love
I've
your
never seen.
excitement when you do those unboxings of the new yarns.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's a lot of fun.
that's fun. And I also love to see your excitement when you are able to announce a giveaway winner. Because I mean,
Yeah,
there's a look on your face. Because and you've said that that's your favorite thing to do.
it is.
So
Hmm.
I think that that's one of the many reasons that everybody loves you is just seeing that look
Hmm.
when you're so excited and happy. Um,
Like a kid in a candy store, huh?
yeah, pretty much. Hey, there are worse places to be than a candy store.
It's true.
I worked in one in high school. Not good for the waistline. Okay, so then everybody knows you love Freddie Mercury.
I do. Hmm. A lot.
A lot, yeah. Oh
He is
gosh.
my idol.
I remember I was in high school when I first heard Queen, and that was when, no, I was in junior high. That was when Bohemian Rhapsody came out
Hmm.
as a song, and I was like totally blown away.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And Yeah, so I cannot disagree with your judgment there.
He, I could sit and watch him play the piano and sing all day. It's mesmerizing. I don't know, he's very easy on the eyes. Well, in my opinion, everybody has different opinions. And he could play that piano like no other and sing like no other. You look back and he was singing those live concerts in the 80s and, before auto-tune and everything. His voice, he didn't need that, you know. His voice was just so beautiful,
Hmm.
beautiful.
I would agree.
I
Did
love
you
him.
ever? I'm sure you've seen the video that he did with Montserrat Caballé at the Barcelona Olympics.
Mhm.
She was a big opera singer
Mhm.
from Spain,
Yes.
so I'm sure you've seen that, and it's
Yes.
I love that myself. I think it's wonderful.
Yes, it was. Mhm. Very nice.
Yeah. So, oh, you should be drinking out of your own merch. I've got mine.
I'm out of merch. Hey,
Yeah.
where do you sell merch from?
I sell my merch on Etsy.
Mhm.
I have a merch um, production place, and when I create something, I with the click of a button, it will automatically create an Etsy listing, and
Oh,
they can
that's
also
cool.
do it on Amazon or Shopify or other places as well. And then I just have to go and finalize the Amazon list or the Etsy listing. I don't have
That's
it on
cool.
Amazon. Yeah.
You have to send
Now
me the name of that company.
I will. I will. And they don't have as wide a selection as I would like,
Mhm.
but you know, for mugs and T-shirts, they're great.
Mhm.
Um, I will send you that because it's very convenient
Yeah,
not
that's
having to
yeah.
just, yeah. And people have been kind and bought some of my stuff too. Um, so when I sent you that UNCW hat, I should have sent a mug or something. But I cannot order from my own Etsy shop. I don't know what that's about. That's
No, they don't
weird.
let you. They don't let you know. No, they don't.
Because I was gonna send you a mug or something, but I'll actually. My sister ordered this,
Mhm.
um, and I commandeered it. Um, so I told her she's gonna have to order some more of my stuff for me. And I would just pay her for it. But um, anyway, so your yarn wall has taken many forms since I've been watching you.
Oh yes, it has. Yes, it has. It's been completely full, then completely empty, and full again. Now it's just half full. Really just
And
depends on my mood. I redo it.
there's one shelf I recall it was empty for a while, and people got really upset about that.
Yes, they did.
People have very strong feelings about your yarn wall.
They do. I don't understand that really, but yes, some people get really upset when it's not full, and others get really upset when it's full. So right now it's just half, so maybe I can please everybody. Although I know there's no pleasing everybody. So I just did it half full now. So I think that's the way I'll probably keep it, half and half.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't
And
know, I don't know why. But I think maybe whenever it's full and then I remove yarn from it, the people who really like me a lot think that I have gotten horrible emails from people saying stuff about it. I think maybe that's why they might get upset when it's empty, because they think maybe someone said something to me and hurt my
uh,
feelings.
someone actually there's another YouTuber who did a video about stash shaming.
Yes,
And I'm sure that I don't know whether you've seen that particular video.
I
She's
did.
actually okay. She's I like watching her channel.
Hmm.
And she's actually in Charlotte, not far from me. Um, But yeah, I mean, people people have strange ideas, don't they? They think they know you personally.
It's true. You'd be surprised at the amount of mm, messages and emails that I get that are just so off the wall mean. Thinking they know like me since I was born from a 20-minute video that they watched on YouTube, that I'm just the worst person in the world. I don't know why it's like that, but I've grown accustomed to those. You grow, that's just expectable on YouTube. You get that, and you just grow numb to them after a while. Don't let them bother you. So,
Yeah. I've been fortunate. Well, I haven't been around long enough to get a lot of hate, but I've also noticed that it seems like women YouTubers get it more often than men do. Have you noticed that?
that could be. I'm not certain.
It's not that
I
men
really,
don't get it, but
yeah, I really don't know why. Um, like I said, I don't know why people like me, but I don't know why they hate me either. So it's just, I'm just me. So
I'm, that's all that any of us can be. I mean, that's what I was saying about finding your voice and
yeah.
being yourself, and that's what I've been working on an awful lot. So I think, and I've learned a lot from you because I know that you are you,
Yes.
and a lot of that stuff you just let it roll off your back. But I have seen times when you seemed hurt.
I have gotten, um, yes, some that really, really sting, but it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. You just keep going on.
Yeah, there's a there, there's a term for, and it's a human nature thing, where we focus on the one negative instead of the 40,000 positive things.
It's true, and I have that problem. Sometimes, I let most of it roll off, but sometimes I get this one, and I'm like, it just gets me to down to the core that there is no amount of positive comments that can take my mind away from that one negative. And to me, in my mind, that person beat me. And as far as, and I don't like that because usually I'm very good at letting the nerves go. But sometimes someone gets me. And it takes me a few
And
days to get over it, but I do.
it's you being you, that still makes you human, and you still have feelings, and
Yes.
you learn perspective over time. But at the same time, what you're saying is that it's sometimes something slips through,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I've seen it with other people too, where that little thing will just hurt them. Um, now, I first became aware of Hat Not Hate through your channel, and so I've been working very hard to try to do a good Hat Not Hate project with that. Um, and I think a lot of people first learned about it through you, so I think that you've done a great service for them, for that organization.
Mhm.
Um, didn't you? Oh, you sat up on the panel with Shira one time, didn't you?
Yeah, a few
In her
times.
live stream, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to watch replays. I never caught one of those live, but
Mhm.
I like to watch her lives on Facebook when I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Um, I don't know how you go to all the live streams that you do and then do the work that you do on top of that as well. Although I'm sure your hands are moving while you're watching.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't sleep much, so
yeah, me neither. Me neither. Now, a couple of years ago, didn't you have a a yarn retreat, and then
I
you
did.
decided it wasn't really for you. Um, but
I did, yes. I got to meet some people. Some even came from Canada to see me all
oh,
the way.
lovely.
Um, a lot of people from everywhere, California, New York, they flew in to Illinois to see me. It was a good time. It lasted the weekend. I actually cannot do that anymore though because I'm really not good at planning things. When I wake up, I don't really know. I try to explain it, but I can't. How I'm going to feel that day. So I don't really know what each day is going to bring. So I just do the videos like, as I think of them. So me having to plan something that's going to last the whole weekend is not cool for me. That's not anything that I enjoy doing. It's very, very hard.
Mm,
So that's why I don't do them anymore. It's not that I didn't enjoy meeting people. I did. It was a really good time. It's just something that was very hard for me um, to do. So
yeah, yeah, I can understand that because I know that you, in person, you've said that you're, rather shy and keep to
mm,
yourself in your own body, and
mhm.
you also say that you haven't traveled much at all. So,
No, I'm not a traveler. You
yeah.
probably wouldn't know it from my videos, but I am very much an introvert person. Um, I'm cool
Oh,
in front of the camera because I know everybody's watching me, but inside there's not right here, there's no one around me. But if you were here right now, David, I would be very, very much more shy. You were in here in person.
well, me too. Me too. And yeah, people are surprised to hear that about me too. But then, once I warm up, and you're probably the same. Once you warm up a little bit and become comfortable, it's a little better.
Yes. Hmm.
But um, what? Today's still Tuesday, isn't it? It's been a long day. So my topic Tuesday today was about local yarn shops, the small ones, the boutique shops.
Yeah.
Do you have many of those near you, or is it all the
No,
big box ones?
I don't have
Mm.
anything near me. Well, my Walmart's 10 miles away, and then I have to drive over an hour to get to Joann's or Michael's. There's no little yarn shops. I think the one I went to that was closest to me was near St. Louis, about an hour and a half away. I went there one time. But other than that, I usually buy my from little yarn shops on the internet online.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
because like I'm not big on traveling, so
I try to stay away from them because I always spend money when I go inside them. But
yes, they can be quite expensive, but I know that it is very helpful to them, especially during since COVID happened. I
yeah,
tried to
yeah,
support them even more as much as I could.
yeah. So it was an interesting discussion today about local yarn shops because a lot of people don't have any very near them, but then some
Hmm.
of them have like three.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of people do prefer to shop online as well. But
Hmm.
I was also asking about local yarn buddies, um, and I have a few. One very good one here in town. Do you have local yarn buddies?
No, I have no friends. Um,
Oh, hush.
Other than my family and my YouTube, I have nobody.
Mm.
So my
Um,
YouTube family are my friends that I talk to about yarn. So,
no, okay. Now, I think you've said before that your kids are not very interested in crochet, except for your youngest, possibly.
yes,
Um,
Evelyn would be my last only hope at crochet. Well, but the other ones, no, they show no interest.
mhm. I'll bet they're all really intelligent kids, though, just knowing you and Eric. Um,
They are very good kids. I couldn't ask for better children. They're very well mannered and um, very very kind to people. They are very nice children. My
oh,
oldest son
good.
does hate my yarn. He says it to me quite often. He says I have way too much. But other than that, no, they're very. I couldn't
Uh,
ask for better children. I
now,
was
your
very blessed.
oldest daughter is the oldest, right? And isn't she approaching college age?
She is. just turned 18, yeah, this year.
Oh, wow. Wow. So
I
she
know.
might be moving out into the world. Oh gosh. You and Dana share that experience. Her daughter just graduated and is heading off to college 4 hours away from her.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. I expect mine to be hanging out for a while. Which she is very much like her mother in terms of um, a homebody. Um, so I don't see her
So,
venturing out too far too quickly, anyways.
yeah, of course. Um, what else should we be talking about? Um, you have done so many different tutorials, different patterns. What kind of patterns do you think are the most popular with your public?
Actually, even though I hate them, blankets. You know, I go back to when I was taught to crochet, the reason why I hate blankets is because I did a project one time. I said I wanted to do a blanket, and I started to do it, and it became so boring to me. And she was the type of crocheter. She would not let me start anything until I finished the project that I was on. And I hated having to finish that blanket. And to this day, I still try to keep one project at a time. Although YouTube has become quite demanding over the years, sometimes I can juggle a couple. I try not to do that though. But over my life, I only usually did one at a time. But I think that moment right there, having to sit there for that long, doing something that I did not want to do, she forcing me to do it, made me not want to do blankets. But then everybody was saying that I should do blankets, so I started to do them, and I noticed that a lot of people like blankets. I personally do not like them, but if people want me to teach them, I'll make them because I do love my YouTube family and I want to see them happy. And if that's what they want to see, then I'll do it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. And that you taught Eric to crochet, and he's done some of the grunt work in terms of those large projects that are boring, right?
Yes, he does sometimes. Yes. Yes, I taught him a few years ago to crochet, so
That's
yeah,
cool.
he helps out now and again.
That's neat. I used to do a lot of blankets, but now not so much. Now it seems like I'm all about the shawls because they're my most popular patterns, actually.
I really like to
Yeah.
do shawls. Those do really well. You know, when it comes to my tutorials, they're always a hit and a miss. You never know which one's going to do well and which one's not. Sometimes I'll do a pattern and I'm like, oh, this is gonna do so good on YouTube, and then it doesn't. No one watches it. And then I'll do something and I'm like, oh gosh, no one's gonna watch this, and that's the one that'll take off. So it's a hit and miss when it comes to tutorials. Um, I think it depends on, I don't even know what it depends on. It's just you put it on and you hope for the best as far as tutorials go.
Exactly. Exactly. That yeah, and the designs I just do what suits my fancy in the moment. And then yeah, usually I'll be it's funny, I'll be watching Dana and Joe live in the morning. They go live at 9:30 every weekday.
Hmm.
And that's when I get my ideas. It's like, oh God, I've got another idea. What am I going to do now? Oh, so when do you get your ideas, or is there any consistency to it?
No, there's no consistency. I'm very inconsistent when it comes to YouTube. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do from day to day. But crochet wise, when I know it's time that I need to put out another tutorial, either I'll find a yarn that I like and sit down in front of the camera and make something with it, or I'll think of something that I want to make, like say like a baby dress, and then I'll pick a yarn for it and sit down in front of the camera. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
explain really how I do it, but it's
Yeah.
really very inconsistent. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm going to do from day to day. So I just
Yeah,
go with the flow.
that's good enough. Yeah. So I think we all know the answer to this, but are you yarn first or project first?
You mean, do I choose the yarn first or the project first?
Um, which one? Yeah, yeah. I'm a sucker for colorful yarn, and I'll buy a yarn and then figure out what to do with it.
Yes, I definitely buy yarn and then I use it. I just decide what I'm going to do with it later, of course. I love yarn a lot. Um, and it does inspire me. So that's why I kind of have a lot. I get in crochet ruts, just like everybody, you know. And sometimes I can walk through and look at my yarn, and you just have to wait for one pop out at you.
Hmm.
And then I'll get, think of something, maybe this yarn will work for me. And it's so
Yeah.
far that I bought enough of it for the project. And if I
One.
didn't, then I'll just make something smaller with it.
Yeah, yeah. I've done a few Topic Tuesdays about getting your crojo back. Your motivation. Um,
Hmm.
do you, for everybody, it ebbs and flows, of course. So, is there anything you do when you feel like you should be more motivated or should be accomplishing more?
As far as crochet, trying to get my crochet back when I lose it, and I do lose it quite often on YouTube because, like I said, it is very demanding. I can lay in the middle of my floor in here and just look around me because my walls are lined with yarn. You just can't see them off camera. Um, and I can look around and wait for a yarn, and then usually looking at it all will inspire me. Or sometimes I'll do some retail therapy, and that always helps out too.
Yeah, exactly. Finding a new yarn that you get excited about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Speaking of which, I just loved I believe it was a cowl that you did with Daniel's wisteria yarn.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
pretty yarn. It was very nice to work with. Mhm.
Have you made anything with the Steve yarn yet?
Um, I made a scarf on my knitting machine just to see
Oh, okay.
what it looked like worked up, but that's not the project I have planned for it. So I did get a couple more skeins hanks from him yesterday, so to make up for the hanks that I used on that. Um, I do have a project planned for that and the Clark yarn. I got to just get time to do those. I got
Hmm. I love the Clark yarn, but then I love Clark because he's a dog.
yes, Daniel did a good job on both of them. He does. I love all of his yarn. I do. Um,
Yeah, I have always thought that he has a really wonderful sense of color and
mhm.
matching color and putting things
Yes,
together. You know, and his business has grown by leaps and bounds in the past month and a half since he's been in the Yarny community on YouTube.
that's great. I'm glad to hear that he's doing well.
Yeah, I worry that he might get overwhelmed, but I think he's handling it okay. Yeah, because it
Yes,
can be
hopefully,
overwhelming.
definitely. Yes, yes, it can be. um, you know, I don't know. I can imagine him being a yarn dyer, people asking him for different colors and stuff. I feel kind of bad now that I think about it, asking him to dye me a Steve and a Clark yarn
Oh,
because
but
he was
that's
probably busy at the time.
oh,
Um,
but the opportunity to do something for you um, is just amazing for anyone. Um,
oh no, I,
no,
I'm I'm glad he took the time to do that. Now that I think about it, because he probably was really busy trying to help getting other yarns dyed. Yeah,
but anyway. Anyway, we could talk about him all day too. Because I don't know why, but people somehow got the idea I had a crush on him or something. Um, he's only less than half my age, and already taken and on the other side of the world. But that's okay. That's the kind I like best. Totally unavailable. Okay, so we've been going for 50 minutes. My goodness gracious. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to add?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
I think it
okay.
went well.
I have been very pleased, and you are so kind to agree to do this for me. And I want to thank everybody who has been watching. And of course, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube stuff, and keep coming back. And I'm going to click end right now.
All right.